From the 22 News Plus studio, this is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of InFocus. It's going to be a fun one, so settle in. I have one of my most favorite people joining me across the desk. She is Nikki Stoia. She's the director of the Springfield Symphony Chorus and also the Western Mass Singers for Survivors. Nikki, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Patrick. You know, that is a coincidence because you are one of my most favorite.
Oh, there we go. We're bribing each other back and forth.
And drum roll,
Uh-oh.
This is very auspicious. This is the first webcast of which I've been a part. So thank you.
You know, I have to say, until I started doing this, I wasn't in it either. You know, people recognize me from Mass Appeal, but I'd never. This is clearly teaching an old dog some new tricks, but you know, I think I've done pretty well.
It's very cool. That's all I got to say.
It's a lot of fun, and the reason it's fun for me is because I have great people who always sit across the desk from me, you included, and it's fun because I'm personally learning, and I'm hoping my viewers are learning a lot more about what's happening in our communities. And your musical involvement in the Pioneer Valley makes this a fun place to live. You know, it really does. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it to you to tell us a little bit more about the Springfield Symphony Chorus.
What a pleasure it is to do that. Yes. So I'm the director of the Springfield Symphony Chorus, and I've been the director for a long time. So I was the accompanist of the chorus for 19 years. And then in 2006, I was asked to be the director.
Okay.
So there we are. And I'm definitely the longest running female director, but I think now I'm actually the longest running director.
Well, it's interesting because my notes have it as the chorus was founded in 1944, in the 44-45 season.
Correct.
And it's been going nonstop ever since.
Right. It was sort of a year after the symphony itself was formed.
Right. So you kind of walked into some big shoes to keep this organization
I did.
Going and exciting.
And I think the biggest shoes for me is the recognition that I have, and I hope that the recognition everybody eventually will have, including those people who have not come to see any of the events that the Springfield Symphony does, even by itself, with or without the orchestra, is just how amazing that ensemble is. We are very fortunate to have such a high quality orchestra of wonderful professionals and wonderful people in this area.
You know, it's funny you say that. I know zero about classical music. I really don't. And on occasion, I've been in Symphony Hall. I'm friends with Kevin Rhodes, the former musical conductor of the symphony. And when you sit there, even if you don't know classical music, to see those 60, 70 people working together in harmony, the acoustics in that hall, it's an amazing experience. It really is.
It is totally. And I have even taken students a few times in my work at UMass down for taking busloads of students to the Symphony Hall. And not all of them are from around here, but they just walk in and the jaw drops, right? Because it's stunning. And then when you hear the acoustics in there, they're amazing. And then when you have the chorus and the orchestra together, right. Of course, we like to think that's super amazing.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. How many times during a season does the chorus and the musicians perform together? Is it the same every year, or is it vary?
It sometimes varies. So the sort of in general, we always sing the holiday concert, which we love.
Okay.
Kind of think it wouldn't be the holiday concert without the chorus, right? Because
Exactly.
everybody thinks choral music for holiday concerts, and then we normally have a spring concert with the orchestra, and sometimes we do that just our chorus with the orchestra, or we invite other folks. We've had high school students sing with us. We've had the UMass Chorale sing with us, so it's really nice. Sometimes we get to share that, and then we do a recital usually in May, and that is usually our benefit concert for worthwhile charity in the area, and the last number of years, and will continue to be the Food Bank of Western Massachusetts, because I don't think that need
place.
is going to go down anytime
Sadly,
in the near
it's
future.
not. You're right. So you perform a number of times with the symphony musicians, and you as well do concerts of just the chorus.
Right. And when we do just the chorus concerts, I'm playing for them because I play for them in rehearsal and I conduct them. And sometimes we'll do things a cappella, meaning without accompaniment. And it's really fun. Sometimes we bring some guests in even for that. Occasionally One of my choristers might be an instrumentalist. We've had one of our choristers plays the oboe, and she accompanied us on a piece that called for oboe in previous years. So it's very nice.
So, but your accompaniment is primarily piano.
Piano.
Right.
And I was also going to say the other things I should add to this is then we go out into the community. So I've played the piano on snow with the chorus behind me at bright nights.
Oh, nice.
We've also been outside for the tree lighting at MGM. So we appear in all kinds of weather, inside and outside.
So does the city of Springfield have a special place in your heart?
It sure does. And I don't hide it at all. Wherever I go, I talk about Springfield. So we moved to this area when I was in 5th grade. So I lived in Feeding Hills for a couple of years. And then my main schooling has been in the Springfield school system. I'm a really proud product of the Springfield schools. I recently attended a landmark reunion for my high school. We won't say how landmark. And, I was just so proud. But I got such a good education here, and there were so many musical opportunities and so many wonderful teachers of traditional academics and of the arts, and it was great. And that just means so much to me. I was a first-gen student, so it's the first person in my entire family to go to college. So, and then I went to college in this area. I did my undergraduate work at Smith. I was a music and German major, and then I did my graduate work at UMass, and I was the first person to get my master's in what's now called collaborative pianos. So, and then I worked at the university for 30 years, and I'm still there now at part-time.
The entire Pioneer Valley really is home for you.
It is.
Fantastic.
Right. It is. It truly is. And I think it will always be.
Good. We are up on our first commercial break. Stay with us. We've got plenty more to talk about when we come back in just a few minutes.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry. This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 22 News Plus studios. I'm your host of InFocus, Patrick Berry. Sitting across the desk from me today in the hot seat is Nikki Stoia. We're having a musical conversation today.
We are, and it's fun. We're having fun.
I'm a huge proponent of live local music, whether it's instrumental like the symphony like we talked about, a band at 52 Sumner or the Academy of Music or wherever it might be, to the a cappella choral group, whatever it might be. Just folks get out, support them. It's great culture. It's a fun night out.
Absolutely. We are so fortunate. It's one of the other things that I love about this area, and it's probably like one of the primary things I love about this area is like you're hard pressed to find a weekend with no arts.
Oh, yeah.
Offered to you.
And I've said to people, I go, if you're bored, it's only because you want to be bored. Because there's always something going on.
Correct. And that goes entirely from schools, too, through professional.
Absolutely.
There's amazing things going on. I mean, I'm sort of biased. I speak from the university. We have amazing concerts going on there, student instrumentalists and singers and groups, but just everything and all the professional things in the area.
Are these singers in the Springfield Symphony course, are they professional singers or are they your run-of-the-mill TV host, plumber, accountant, house cleaner? Are they just run-of-the-mill people who really enjoy to sing?
Yes and yes and yes.
Enjoy to sing, enjoy singing.
You got it. Yes and yes and yes.
Okay.
So some people are, maybe they were music majors in college and maybe they still do that. It's part of their profession. Maybe they're music educators in the school system. Maybe they're singers in the area who sing professionally. Most people are people who've had some background. They had some enjoyment. Okay. Maybe they sang in a high school choral group. Maybe they sang in a house of worship choral group. Maybe they sang in a college choral group, and they want to join us and be in that community and get to do that kind of music.
So singing in the shower in the car is really not.
You never know. You never know.
Do you do rehearsal or not rehearsal? Recruitment, singer recruitment.
We do recruitment. Well, and as you know, you've heard me talk about auditions and Mass Appeal before, right. and I'll talk about them here again. We audition usually in September, early September, and then again in early January. But you can just look on the website. You can look up the course information on the springfieldsymphony.org website, and you'll see the person to contact about auditions, and we'll answer questions at any time. But yes, no, we do recruit, and I say what's really important now is ever since COVID, I think it's really important to have to have something where you can build community with people and they commit to a weekly rehearsal. So we rehearse on Tuesday evenings. Now that's something I think my course, I overthink my course all the time. And pardon me for saying my course, but I feel like,
Right.
they're
You've been
people
director long enough.
well, they're people that I try to take care of and engage with. I want them to enjoy singing with each other. I want them to enjoy interacting with me. I want them to enjoy interacting with the community, which is why we also do these things. I was talking about, being at Brightside or the tree lighting, but we also do, we participate in people's benefit concerts. I mean, we really enjoy doing that. But yes, so it's a Tuesday night commitment and it's really great.
Is it what's the age group, I guess, of your singers? Are they retirees?
I'd like to say 18 to 80.
Okay.
Occasionally we've had a high school student. So if they're under 18, we just ask that their parent comes to the rehearsal and, stays with them or whatever. Because sometimes you have some remarkably talented people.
Oh, absolutely.
Who are young singers who are very mature in their singing.
Right.
So
I want to switch gears to the Western Mass Singers for Survivors.
Yes.
That you are a member of, and you founded
I founded it.
Right.
I found it. Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
So the Western Massachusetts Singers for Survivors came about as I was doing my chemo infusions, and I'm happy to say I'm over 10 years in remission from Hodgkin's lymphoma. I've always put it right out there, and I was sitting next to someone who looked like they were very concerned just by you can read people's body language. Yeah. They were very concerned about maybe how they were going to pay for medication or whatever. And I thought, time to do something, time to help out. A lot of people are doing a lot of things, but something that we could do musically. And I have a background ever since I was in elementary school, participating in fundraisers, bringing my music, doing something, playing the piano, singing, conducting whatever, to assist fundraising events especially for healthcare type causes. So that is how that happened. And I just said, we're going to have this. And I wasn't even done with my infusions yet. But anyway, so that's how that came about. And the majority of the members in the Western Massachusetts Singers for Survivors are people who happen to be in the chorus, but basically people can contact me and you don't have to be any type of, the singing in the shower person is totally a good fit for this. But basically, everybody in this group is either a cancer survivor like myself, and we consider cancer survivors people who may be in the process of going through chemo. That's what they say in general.
And
I
have to imagine if you're in the process of beating cancer,
yes,
or having already beaten it, this is a great outlet.
Yeah.
You meet others who have shared experiences,
exactly,
and it comes back to my opening statement. It's fun.
Yes, and the other thing not to forget is the other group of people in this in the chorus are people who are caregivers. I have a very liberal definition of caregiving. Obviously, if you're a partner of some kind, sure, you're there all the time. But did you bring a lasagna to your friend? Did you give your friend rides to doctor's appointments?
Right.
Did you just play cards with them? Come over to their house if they could have you in there, you wore a mask or whatever, that kind of thing. That's incredibly important because I can tell you, they can't see it here, but my husband is sitting in this room with us, and I think it's harder on the caregivers.
I don't know if we can get him. Nope, he's just off camera in that picture.
He's probably mortified right now that I mentioned him, but it's harder on the caregivers, I think, even than on the rest of us who are sort of going through it.
But it's like I said, it is a wonderful way for people who have gone through that, to come together, and it's a greght outlet. You always have your voice.
Absolutely, and we've participated in so many fundraisers. We've done part of the fundraisers for Rays of Hope for the Bay State Health Foundation, for the Get Your Pink On event, for the cancer that benefits the Cancer Patient Care Fund of the Mass General Brigham Cancer Institute at Cooley Dickinson Hospital. That rolls right off the lips.
Holy smokes, that's a long
I wanted to get that right. But so many things. The Jimmy Fund. We've appeared at the Big E. I mean, that's and this is the sort of the everybody who's interested in cancer survivorship chorus.
Do you do auditions or recruitment?
No, that you just contact me, and you can go on. You can go onto the Springfield Symphony website and just look me up, and I'd be happy to let you know what we're doing. And these are pop-up concerts, so we don't rehearse regularly for that. Okay. When things come up and people say, Nikki, can you bring a chorus to this? And usually you do maybe a 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute segment, or we're there.
Do you have a musical specialty that this group
We
focuses
do a
on?
lot of different things. So, and it also depends on which members of the group can come. So sometimes I have all sopranos and altos. So we do like repertoire for sopranos and altos. And, but we'll do popular music that people recognize. We'll do some classical music. We'll do different kinds of cultural music. It just depends on the event.
Fun. As I said earlier, we are up on our second commercial break. Still more to talk about. So join us back here in just a moment.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry. This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Hello, everyone. We're having a lot of fun here in the 22 News Plus studios because we're talking about one of my favorite topics, and that's music. Sitting across the desk from me today is Nikki Stoia. She is the director of the Springfield Symphony Chorus, as well as the director and founder of the Western Mass Singers for Survivors. Nikki, thank you for joining me.
Thank you again.
This is, I feel honored. It's your inaugural webcast.
I'm just so excited.
With the way you get out and about with all the things that you do, I'm surprised this is the first one.
I know. Well, I'm just lucky. I'm lucky that I know Patrick Berry and that I've been on Mass Appeal and now I'm on an InFocus, and I'm a big groupie of WWLP in general.
Oh,
so it's
so
just
funny.
showing.
Okay, and I love it. You, a couple of times in our conversation so far, you've made a passing comment about you being an accompanist, if I'm pronouncing that word. Accompanist. Okay. What is an accompanist?
Okay, so we use the fancy term now for accompanist, which is collaborative pianist, and I'm not really making fun of it, but I think collaborative pianist explains more correctly what accompanists do. In that, when a pianist is working with a singer or an instrumentalist, it's one of the types of chamber music because it's a collaborative effort. One really isn't more important than the other. So that's the kind of thing that people need to understand. When you hear collaborative pianist, think of just somebody collaborating.
All right. So it may be, well, in this situation, it's you with an entire group of people, and you only play the piano. Are you playing anything else too? Or
I have in the past.
Here's the triangle, Nikki.
Yeah, exactly. No, but basically, so it's sort of the different musical lives of Nikki Stoia. So when I'm working with the chorus, I'm accompanying the chorus, right? But, as I told you, I have my history at UMass where I'm now working post-retirement appointment. But one of the things I did there, I was the associate dean for undergraduate education, faculty member in the music department, and taught a number of courses and worked with ensembles. But my specialty is collaborative piano, which means coaching and accompanying singers and instrumentalists. So when I'm working with singers, I need to know, for instance, pronunciation of the Romance languages, because a lot of the classical music is in Romance languages. Right. When I'm working with instrumentalists, again, we're working on things, and you do this with everyone, but specifically when I'm working with instrumentalists, we're really working on our ensemble. We're working on balance of sound, things like that. And I do a lot of recitals. I play a lot of recitals during the year.
So the way you just described it, the way the chorus works, you're singing in foreign languages. So do I need to be fluent in Italian, German, French, or whatever it might be?
Right. So if you were a solo singer, yes. For the chorus, we do some things in foreign languages, but we have time. That's why we work them out at rehearsals. But we also, again, if you look on the website about auditioning, it'll say, please bring a piece. If you can bring a piece in a language other than English, that's great. If you only have something in English, that's also fine. I can sight read anything, meaning if you give me the music, I can play it at sight. But often choruses will sing in Latin, or they'll sing in French, or they'll sing in German, or sometimes they sing in Italian. But we sing a lot of things in English too.
Well, I guess, if you think about it, I mean, there are a lot of popular tunes that intersperse another language with English, or are entirely
in Spanish
in another language.
Right.
In Agata Davida. I don't know why that comes to mind. That's not. I don't even know what language.
We don't normally do that in the symphony chorus, but it doesn't mean we won't ever.
Right. But I guess even myself, you sing these languages.
Right.
You may not know what they mean, but you don't need to speak the language fluently to be able to sing it.
And for instance, in the holiday concerts or whatever, we'll do things in English. We will do things in Hebrew because we also celebrate Hanukkah. We'll do things in Spanish because there are a lot of popular holiday songs in Spanish. Yes.
So we've mentioned this a number of times about it being fun. So it's a volunteer thing. People don't get paid to be in the chorus.
No, and they pay dues to be in the chorus, and they often donate to the symphony because they believe in it so much.
So how do you make it fun? how do you get people to come back year after year to be members of the
Right.
chorus? How do you keep it
So
exciting and fresh?
my thing is to build community within the chorus.
Okay.
And then we build greater community by having the in chorus engage in the greater community. So people see that. They sort of know what their mission is.
Okay.
But also I can't do anything, as you can see from this interview and other times that you've worked with me, I can't do anything without humor. So my chorus tells me I'm infinitely patient, so I'm glad, but I'm also pretty funny. I mean, I can only go so many minutes without saying something funny or something I think is funny.
I'm with
So
you on
that's
that
how
one.
that works.
I'm with you on that one. So folks find that the interspersing of seriousness along with comedy, like in my
Absolutely.
job here, there's a time for serious and time for funny.
Absolutely.
But it's motivational. It kind of keeps you coming back.
It does. It does. And also I evidently, even when I'm not happy about maybe the way something sounded in rehearsal, evidently I'm not good at showing it because I'll be at course the next week and I'll say, oh, I'm sorry I had to harp on you and kind of got a little angry with you last week. They said, you did? We didn't notice. So it's just like, I don't think that's in my DNA. But really, it's much easier in life in general to approach things with a sense of humor. And I just have wonderful, committed people in the Springfield Symphony Chorus.
What's the population of both of the choruses, the Western Mass survivor singers and the
You mean like the numbers?
Yeah,
And
20 people.
So it depends. So, we're post-COVID now. So having anybody do anything regularly is amazing, right? Coming out, right? So coming out of their house and into a rehearsal environment. We are running about like 65,
Holy smokes.
but we're growing.
Wow.
We're growing. And the Singers for Survivors is a smaller group. And again, because those are pop-ups and I'm contacting people sort of in the last minute saying, hi, we're having a rehearsal. A charity event would like us to sing on such and such a date. Can you make it or whatever? So that maybe runs around 20 max, something like that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
One last time before we run out of time, how do people find out more? Where should they go to learn about auditions, concerts?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a website folks can visit?
Absolutely. If you go to the Springfield Symphony Orchestra's website, which is springfieldsymphony.org, and you can navigate to our page about the chorus, and everything should be there.
Easy enough. Nikki, I can't thank you enough for joining me today. Such a fun conversation with one of my favorite topics, music.
Thank you so much, Patrick. I'm really honored to be here because you interview so many important people. I thought, why am
You're
I
on
here
that
today?
list. You
But
made the
thank
list.
you.
Good seeing you, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.